Hi guys! Welcome and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time being here, thank you so much for stopping by and thank you for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to show you how I changed the Jamaican map. I did a video recently in Cricut Design Space where I made a Jamaican shirt. I'm gonna put the link here using an SVG file that I bought on Etsy, the map of the Jamaican map. So I decided that I was going to use that same map and convert it to a rhinestone template and make a shirt. Now this is what I came up with. I absolutely love it and I would like to take you on the journey of how I did it. So the colors that I use today, the rhinestones that I use black, I use lemon yellow, and I use emerald for the green part. Now, the other materials you're going to need flock. I bought this on heat transfer at Heat Transfer Warehouse, and this I got at the Dollar Tree. It's just a flexible chopping mat. You're also going to need hot fix transfer tape. I got this on Amazon. And you're also going to need rhinestones. I told you the colors that I use. You're going to need a painter's brush and a wax pencil. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Hi guys, welcome back to another rhinestone tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how I made this design in Silhouette Studio. Now here I have a blank canvas, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go over here where it says file. I'm going to go down where it says merge, and I'm gonna search for the design that I'll be working with. Now I bought this image on Etsy. It's just the Jamaican map. I'm gonna use the SVG file. So when it comes in, it's gonna come in like this. Now, this file has 3 different layers. Okay, what I'm gonna go ahead and do, I'm going to highlight everything because I do not want it to be this wide, and I'm gonna size it to the size that I want, somewhere around 1.25 is good because I'll be moving around this file a little bit more, and it's gonna get a little bit wider. So I'm gonna size everything first to around 11.3. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna also manipulate the height because I want it to be a little bit taller. Okay, now that I have this, I am going to go over here where it says text, and I'm gonna click on this A. Then I'm going to click on my canvas. So what you'll notice is that you'll see this blue thing right here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to type Jamaican Queen. Now, I just want to give a shout out to Coretta for pointing me to this single line font. I did buy this one on Design Bundles. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this from Arial. If you notice here, it's showing Arial. I'm going to go over here to this panel on the right, and you're going to see an A with a stroke down. I'm going to click on that A, And what you'll find is that it comes up. Now the font that I'll be using is their Agatha 2, and I'm going to click on it. Now, because I'm using this font, and it is a single line font, if I go ahead and take off the line, the font will go away. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just make it as large as I want. Okay, preferably I'm going to make it large enough as the map. So what I'm going to do, I'm first going to ungroup it, and then I'm going to group it again. So I'm going to click on the whole thing. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to group it. Now you go up to object and you group it. Now when I group it, now I can size it to the size that I need. So I'm going to size it to about this size right here. I want it to be a little bit wider. Okay. I want it to be about 11. Let's do 10.6. So this is okay for me. Okay. I am going to bring it up a little bit further just because I want to work on this part. Now what I'm going to do, if you notice, I have the black layer, the green layer, and the yellow layer. I want to give, if you notice, they are directly on each other. So if I pull this apart, you see this moving away. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna undo that. I'm going to click on my black layer. I know that this is the black layer because when I look up here where you see my cursor is, it's showing black. So what I'm going to do, when I select my black layer, I'm going to go over here where it says, you see this star, okay? Right over here where my mouse is, you see the star. I'm going to click on it. And I'm going to go up here where it says, and I'm going to go up here where it says internal offset. I'm going to click on it. Now I'm going to zoom up because I want you to see what is happening here. You notice that here you see that there's an outline on my offset and there's this red line. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go up here where you see these little box, and I'm gonna click on it, and I'm gonna get my dropper. Now I want it to stay with me, and I'm going to click on that part, okay? When I do that, I am gonna go over here to the edge. No, the edge right here. So I have the inside and I have the edge. I'm going to click on the edge and I'm going to press backspace. Now you'll notice that the edge is gone from around it. And what I want to do, you notice also that these are separate. And it's okay. That's how I want it because I'm gonna move this over a bit. Now I'm not ready to group, so I'm not ready to group them as yet, but what I want to do, I want to go ahead and take away that red line that is around it. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna click on this one and also take it off. Okay, no, so this none, I take it off. Before I group back my black layer, I'm going to click on this one and I'm gonna scoot it over just Using my arrow key, I'm gonna move it over just maybe once. And I'm gonna do the same thing here. I don't want it to shift. I just want to move it over once. Okay. Now I'm going to, since I have this one already selected, I'm gonna press shift and I'm gonna click on the other black one and I'm gonna go up here where it says object and I'm gonna group those together. I'm going to do the same thing for the green layer. Okay, so I'm gonna click on the green. I'm going to go over here to the star and I'm going to click the internal offset. You notice that it comes up like this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go over here, gonna get my dropper, and I'm gonna click on the inside of that red line. I'm gonna click off, then I'm gonna go here and press backspace. All right, and now you see that I have this one. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to go ahead and take off the lines from around it. Now these are not yet grouped together. So I'm gonna click on it, go over here where you see that line, and I'm gonna click none. And this little piece right here is also a part of that. So I'm gonna go here and click none. Okay, I think this is okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do anything to the yellow layer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to press this layer. I click on it, the green at the top. I'm going to press it one time. And the one at the bottom, I'm going to press it one time. And this little piece, I'm going to press it one time, which is the down key. Now I'm going to press shift, click on this one, click on this one, and then I'm going to go up to object and I'm going to group. Now, this is ready to be turned into a rhinestone. The reason why I created these insets was because when I applied the rhinestone to this, I do not want the rhinestones to be touching or overlapping each other. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take my view down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to bring my Jamaican queen down a little bit. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to ensure that I have the right space that I need. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger since I'm putting this on a large shirt. And I think that is quite okay. You will want to do all of this first before you start to apply your rhinestones. If you apply your rhinestones and then go ahead and size it, you might end up with incorrect measurements, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to go over here where it says open panels. You could go over here also at the top and click on rhinestones. If you look on this side, you see that the rhinestones, they are selected. I'm gonna scoot this up just a little bit. Now, what I'm going to do, let me zoom up a little bit. I'm going to apply rhinestones. For this one, I'm going to use, so this one is none, I'm going to use edge. And this one, this is what it looks like when you use edge. This is at a space of 0.15, okay? And I think it is okay that way. Now I'm going to click on the black And if you do the linear fill, it's gonna look like that. It really fills it up quite nicely, and there aren't a lot of space in between. But let's look at the radial fill. Now, the radial fill to me looks a little bit better because outlines, it catch the outline of the map quite better. You notice? So I'm gonna stick with the radial fill. Let me just tell you that usually the spacing is defaulted to 0.039. I just changed mine to 0.15 because I know I want the stones to be close to each other. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to touch the green, and I'm going to do the same thing, and that looks good. And I'm going to touch the yellow, and I'm going to use the radial fill. Now, I want you to notice what is happening here. If I did not, let me zoom up. If you notice you have stones that are overlapping here, we will have to take care of those. See? We will have to take care of those. If you don't release your stones and move them around, then what you're gonna find when you're cutting your flock in Cricut Design Space, then you're gonna have giant holes and stones are gonna overlap each other. You will also notice that in between the yellow is a lot of gaps. So this needs a lot of work. Let me go up. Also, you'll notice that this one right here, you'll notice that there are a lot of stones that are overlapping. You will also have to take care of that. On this one, you see that the stones are on top of each other. So let me close my rhinestone panel for a while, and we are going to analyze what's going on here. Now, this one, I'm going to change the color. Let's see, to black, and that is okay. Let me see if I change the fill to black. If yes. No, I really don't want to do that yet. So let me go back. Let me undo that because I want to actually see what is happening here so that I could fix everything. Okay. Now what we will have to do, let me zoom out. What we will have to do is that we are going to release these stones, and we will have to go ahead, delete stones and add stones where they're supposed to go. And this is where the work comes in. This is where you're going to have most of the work. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to first move up this away a little bit higher. And I'm going to go back to my rhinestone panel. And I'm going to release the stones that's in the word. Okay? If you notice, you're going to see a box around each of these. Okay? And that's good. It just tells you that the stones have been released. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and delete the stones that are on top of each other. You do not want them to overlap. So I'm going to take off this panel so you could see, and I'm going to click on this first stone. I'm going to delete that. I'm also going to delete this one right here. So you'll notice that there's none overlapping here. It looks like it's touching, but it's not actually touching. Let me bring it up a little bit more for you to see. So we're working on this one. You notice they're not touching. It's just that when it looks far, it looks like it's touching, but it's not touching. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and delete the stones that are on top of each other and move over some stones. Okay, like this one, I think it could go over a little bit more. This one is on top of that one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and delete these stones. Okay. So now that you move over your stones, I'm going to select everything, all the stones. Ensure that all your stones are selected. And then you're gonna go up here where it says object and you're gonna press group. Okay. So what I like to do, I like to zoom up as far as I can just to check that everything is okay. See that? Everything looks good. Each of them has their individual space and the text is legible. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to change the color field to black. Now that looks quite well. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Let me take this down a little bit now. Okay. And what I am going to do is I'll have to work on the map now, okay? Because there are stones that are overlapping. There are stones that need to be filled. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna select all my map, all the stones in my map. Let me move this up a bit since we're done with that. I'll move it over. And I'm going to select every stone in that map, okay? And I'm gonna go over here to my rhinestone panel and I'm gonna release those stones. Now it's gonna take a while for it to be released because there are a lot of stones. Okay, so now you see that these stones are released. There's a box around each of these stones, and that's what we want. Okay, I am going to zoom up again. Click off. I'm gonna zoom up because I wanted to see what I'm doing. And the first thing I'm gonna work on is the black layer. Okay, gonna work on the black layer. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select some of these stones. I'm going to go over here where it says edit, and I'm gonna copy these stones. Okay, so what I like to do is just copy and paste some of the stones so that I don't have to keep copying them individually. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna work on this side first. I'm gonna zoom up. As you see, there are stones that are touching. I'm gonna use my arrow key just to take them off each other, move stones around. So that they'll just have their individual space and there will be no problems when cutting the flock. Now this part is quite time consuming. So I'm just going to show you. So I'm using my arrow key. I'm just going to show you how to add stone. So here looks like it can take another stone. I'm gonna zoom up. See, it looks like you could take another stone here. So you're gonna take this and you're gonna put it there just to fill up that area. Check to see that the stones are not touching. That's so important. I'm gonna take one more, I'm gonna put it here just to fill up the spots. And you want to zoom up as much as you can because it actually helps. Okay, see, you move away the stones, create space for others. I think one can go somewhere here also. Okay, So everything looks okay on this part. I think I could fit a stone here. Grab a stone right there. Okay, and the one here. Just don't let them touch. Okay, that looks good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and fill the rest of these stones. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna zoom down and I'm gonna go back over here and grab my Jamaican Queen and position it where I want it to go. Somewhere in the center. Okay, all right. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm ready to make this into a compound path. But before I make it into a compound path, I will have to group, okay? So I'm gonna go here where it says edit, and I'm gonna go down and select by color. Then you're gonna go to the by fill panel, and what you need to do is to group the colors. So here I have the green, and you notice all the green is highlighted. You're gonna go up here and you're gonna group it. You're gonna go over here to the black. All the black is selected. You're gonna go over here, object group. You're gonna do the same thing for the yellow. Okay, let me undo this a little bit. And I'm gonna bring this down a little bit more before I do that. Right, so now I'm gonna select the black and I am going to group. I'm gonna do it for the green, the yellow rather. Go here, group it. Okay, so now we have grouped all the colors together. We are now gonna make it into a compound path. So I'm going to take my black layer and I am going to go up here where it says object, and I'm going to press make it a compound path. Now the color is gonna go away, but this is an opportunity for you to look at the stones. So I'm gonna zoom up to see if anything is weird. If you see a bright red color, it means then that a stone is overlapping. So let me zoom up as far as I can go. You notice this one right here looks a little bit close. Let me zoom up. Yeah, it's very close. Okay. Let me go down. But there are no bright red colors. When you see this bright red color, it means that there are two stones on top of each other. And we do not have that. We don't have that also in this. So I'm gonna zoom down and I'm gonna go back over here. I'm gonna turn it back black and I'm gonna take off the line. Okay. Now I'm gonna do the same thing for the green. I'm gonna go to object. I'm going to make a compound path. I'm gonna check to see that everything is nice and dandy. There are no stones that are bright red. Okay. And I'm gonna go back over here. I'm gonna change back the color and I'm gonna take the red line from around it. Then I'm going to select the red, the yellow, go to object, make a compound path. Everything looks okay. They look quite close though. And I'm going to change it back to yellow. I'm going to take the line from around it. Now, each of these have their individual layers. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the whole design, and I am going to go up here and group it. Now, at this point, you want to take note of the size that you have. The size that I have is 11.363 by 7.282. You are going to make, you're going to make note of this. So my width is 11.363 and my height is 7.282. 7.282. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here where it says File. I'm going to go to Save Selection. I'm going to save it to my hard drive. I'm going to save this as Jam Queen SVG. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to click that drop down and I'm going to save it as an SVG. Let me see where I'm going to save it as. I'm gonna go and save it in my silhouette designs and I'm gonna press OK. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm gonna show you now how you could upload it to Cricut Design Space, how you could cut it and press it onto your shirt. We're in Cricut Design Space and now we are going to transfer the file that we did with the Jamaican map to Cricut Design Space so that we could cut it. So what you're going to do, you're going to go over here where it says upload. You're going to click on it. Then you're going to go to upload image. You're going to browse for your image. And remember, we saved it as Jam Queen, which is this one. You're going to open it. When you open it, this is what you're going to have. You're going to upload it. And I'm going to add it to my canvas. So when it comes in, you'll have to be mindful of the fact that it will not come in the same size as it is in Silhouette Studio. And that is why I emphasize that you should make a note of the correct size that it is in Silhouette Studio. It's going to take a while to upload because of the amount of stones that we use. Okay, so as I said, it did not come in the size that we wanted. So what we're going to do is we are going to go up here. Do not unlock the proportion and you're going to put the correct width. The correct width was 11.363 and you're going to press enter. Now the height will automatically change to the correct height. Now this is what we're going to have. If you notice, we have 1, 2, 3 different layers and this whole layer right here. I am going to hit make it and see what happens because I have just a small amount of flock. And if I can cut this on one mat, it would be quite nice. So it doesn't look like I can cut it on one mat. Let me see if I could move it over. Okay, let me see if I could move it over. Let me take the yellow mat and move it to the black mat. Okay. And let me take the green mat and see if I could squish it somewhere. Move it to the black. All right, so what you're gonna do, you're gonna hit continue. Okay guys, so ensure that your cutting machine is set to custom. Then I'm going to select my material. I made this one, so it's mel flock. That's it, and I'm going to press done. Now I'm going to send it to cutout. Hey guys, we are now at the work table. So I went ahead and I cut out the flock. I just put it on the back, the backing that it came with. This, all you have to do is to use your scraper tool and scrape them off. I'll do that later on. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my flock. And since it cannot hold on the Dollar Tree chopping mat, I'll have to separate the bottom part of it, but be careful. So I'm just gonna take my scissors and cut off this part, but be careful not to cut the holes. So I'm gonna cut this part off. That's the yellow part, and I'm gonna take this part and I'm gonna stick it here. And then I'll just put this part at the back, like this. Okay, so what I need to do is to brush in my rhinestones and transfer them to the transfer tape that we're going to use. Now if you remember, this part and this part is going to be black because our Jamaican colors are red, green, and black. So I have these here. So this is going to be black to the side, this is going to be green, and this is going to be yellow. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see how best I could brush in the black stones. So I'm going to do that now. So all you have to do, pour it over the area. And you're going to take your trim brush and you're going to need your wax pencil. And you're going to move in a circular motion. Here's a different color. I don't need that. And guys, remember that you need to take away the stones that are not in the correct place. Okay guys, so now that you have everything ready, now you're ready to transfer the stones. Now when you're doing this, you'll have to commit, so just lay it down. Do not take it up, just put it down and they will transfer. Okay, you'll have to commit to this part. Can't change your mind. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to slowly take up the stones. So you want to go slow at this point so that if a stone doesn't stick, then you could put it back and go again. See, this one did stick, so I'm gonna push it down, go again. Okay, so this is what you're gonna have. What you're gonna do, you're gonna take the this and put it back over it just to protect it until you're ready. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and brush in the rest of the stones. Guys, so I brushed in my stones and I put them on the transfer tape. It's now time to press it. So today I'm using a Gilden 100% cotton shirt and I'm doing white. So today I'm gonna lint roll the shirt. Now this is a step you do not want to ignore, because if you don't lint roll well, then it could stop your stones from sticking and you don't want that. So I am going to lint roll this very well. Get off all the lints. Then I am going to add some heat, take out the wrinkles. And I'm gonna find the middle. Okay, so when I find the middle is here. What I'm gonna do, I'm going to try and locate the middle from the mask right here. So with the thing on the back, I am going to try and get the middle. So it's around here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's around there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to take this off because I'm going to put the black layer down first. And I'm going to come down about 3 fingers. And I see the middle, it's indicated there. You don't want this to fold over, so just try to put it down as best as you can. I'm gonna bring it up, the writing up about there. Yeah. That is okay. And you don't have to use a parchment paper at this point. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and layer my first, put down my first layer. Since I'm using a small heat press, I'm gonna do it in sections. And I'm using 345 degrees. So you could use this back, so I'm gonna put this away. You could totally go ahead and use this again for another project. This is not trash. Now I'm gonna do the yellow layer. And everyone knows that the Jamaican map is like this. Okay, so since it's partially covered, I'm going to just put this parchment paper right here where it's not covered. And I'm going to do this part. We'll go here. Okay guys, so this is the result of the shirt that we have just made. I hope you do like it. Let me know what your thoughts are.